I don't know about you, but I think I need some lemonade for all this work that they're doing.
Kids are doing a great job.
They are, aren't they? Yeah. Well, you know, the one thing that they missed, and you know, a kid always loves big trucks because I love big trucks, is the fact that you guys brought a huge truck over here to bring this huge amount of soil to donate to this project over here at Macy Intermediate.
That we did. We had our roll-off truck here bright and early with our driver Henry.
Oh yeah, and Henry.
Good old Henry.
Henry and I went to the same exact school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Neighborhood pals.
It was so funny. There was a bunch of people talking, and Henry and I found out that we knew a whole lot same people, and we just kind of went in our own little world, and everybody else was lost.
It was cool to watch.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Well, speaking of watching, we got the kids over here. They're working on their Keyhole gardens here. And the instructor is showing them how to use the shovel properly, how to fill up these Corona wheelbarrows and get this soil over to where it needs to be for their planter beds. And what's really interesting is that when you guys asked to donate this material, you were firing off 100 different questions to me, trying to figure out the type of things that they're going to be putting in, because you have so many different types of soils to offer.
We do. We specialize in planter mixes, and we have a color mix, cactus mix. We do a pretty standard planter mix that a lot of wholesale nurseries use for either box trees, containers, that kind of thing. And we do make humic compost and mulches as well.
Okay. Now, what kind of mix is this?
This is our color mix, so for new veggies, bedding plants, monuments with color, this is wonderful for that.
Okay, so we have these planter beds that you're creating. What exactly do you call these things?
Keyhole gardens.
Keyhole gardens, and it looks like you've got your kids over here really working up a sweat today, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
This whole thing has been done by the kids.
Nice.
Everything, the building, everything. So every bit of the process is kids.
Okay, now what was the method to your madness by putting leaves down first?
That's part of the mulching on the bottom.
Okay.
So we laid down cardboard to suppress the weed growth. We might have to zip a little bit on the sides there. And then leaves on top of that. There's a mat over there that's going to go right there. Everything, all the soil is going to build up around it. The cardboard and the leaves are going to decompose, so we get a jump start on the composting, and then the soil is going to go on top of that. That basket that's going to go in the middle there is going to be a composter, so everything that's compostable is going to go in there, and that's going to feed
the balance of it.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. So we're going to have to get you some worms in here too, I think. You know that? Get some worm activity, get the composting activity going on, you got everything. Well, you guys are doing a really great job over here. I like the way that you take and you have these little walk-in areas, because a lot of times on Keyhole Gardens you don't see that.
Well, you don't see them designed this way. You'll see the walkway, but it comes at a in angle. But we designed this so that people, kids with wheelchairs, have access to the garden.
Now tell me a little bit about the Macy 4-H Club.
It started 6 years ago, primarily for the garden. The north plot, the south plot. We didn't have this developed, this was all grass. Then, at that time, the principal had the garden, but I asked him who's going to run it. He said, didn't think about that part. so I said, all right, 4-H. I never intended to do it, but I opened my mouth, right? I said, all right, I'll organize this 4-H. You make sure that the garden's going to run clearly as far as whatever we need. So primarily this is what we do, primarily.
Now we did put all this soil in here, and there was a lot of activity going on that day. Now here's something that I have to let you know, and this is, I really love the whole idea of what's going on here, because this is pretty typical of a vegetable garden. Vegetable gardens, oddly enough, are not necessarily the most prettiest things around. So let's have guys come over here, people come over here. Mr. Lopez, what we want you to do is make sure that we're doing all this right, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so here we have our soil, and when I mean that vegetable gardens aren't necessarily pretty, especially when you guys are going organic, because you're going organic, right?
Yeah.
Yes, going organic, right? Okay, you guys know what organic means?
Natural.
All natural. We're not going to use any kind of pesticides. We're not going to use any kind of herbicides. So pesticides are for pests or insects, and herbicides are for weeds. So what do we see? What do we see over here right now? Weeds. So are weeds good guys or bad guys? Bad guys. So since we're not doing any pesticides, how are we going to get rid of those weeds? All right, hop to it. Start pulling those weeds out. Oh, nice. Oh, look at that. Now, you know what's really important? Some of these weeds are so long that you have to get the whole thing. All right, so what we're gonna do is this. Everybody take your piece of TP, and I want you to put it in a line right on the ground like this. Put it on a line on the ground. Since you have seed right here, I want you to put yours a little further. Okay. You take one seed and you put it where there's a line. And then you take one seed and you put it in the center. You take one seed, you put it on the line. You put one seed, you put it in the center. Even if they're really tiny like that. So you put one right here, right here, right here, right here. Okay, put one.
Center.
Put it in the center.
Line.
So this right here is just another fail-safe kind of example of what to do here. Now take a look. All right, you know what? Just like you did that, cover the rest up with soil.
So you just did this one?
Just like this. Sprinkle it on.
Remember what it is. She's doing carrots, you're doing...
All right, give yourself a hand. Thank you very much, guys.